Don't move.
This was one of my favorite movies of 2024. It might be honestly one of my favorite movies ever. This thing is just, it is a spectacular movie, and I think a big reason for that is that, for one, it's super unique, right? Extremely unique. The other thing is it's very compelling, like right from the jump, so I'm talking about the first 5 minutes in, it just hooks you, so let's get into it. In pursuit of a serial killer, an FBI agent uncovers a series of occult clues that she must solve to end his terrifying killing spree. One of my favorite things about this movie, is that you have this whole FBI investigation, right? You have these really, smart, intelligent agents, trying to hunt down this killer, right? And work in this case, right? But then, pretty early on in the movie, you start to realize that Agent Harker has like psychic abilities of some sort, And going into the movie originally, like when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, FBI agents, they're gonna, track down this killer. That was interesting enough to me. That was interesting enough. That was compelling enough. But then realizing that she has like psychic abilities, you're like, oh, that's a whole different spin on everything, And it just made something that was already interesting to me even more interesting and compelling and fascinating.
You identified a suspect's house. No prior knowledge, no real indication that it was any way different than all the cookie cutters all around it. Anything like that ever happened to you before, Agent Harker?
From time to time, sir.
Something else that I just loved about this movie, and I think this is just a huge part of it, is the overall feel of the movie. When watching this, I got this like tense, like ominous feeling, like tense, creepy, ominous feeling from the beginning of the movie all the way to the end. And it was just such a transportive experience, because it doesn't feel like any other movie I've ever seen, and obviously Osgood Perkins, he did his thing with this as well. But I think this is just something just from the film crew overall. Like they did such a good job of really transporting you to this creepy, scary situation, right? It feels like you're in a whole different place when you watch it. Like that's how I felt, and a lot of that has to do with just the detail, but also the lighting and especially the lighting as well. And just so many little things that made it just feel so creepy. Like it really felt like you were stuck in this crazy, scary, creepy, ominous situation. Like it was, oh man, it was just it was just incredible. Like that feeling you get when you watch the movie. It's just hard to describe. Like you really got to watch it, but that was just an excellent piece of the movie for me.
What's your emergency?
So another part of the movie that I thought was just super compelling and interesting is the clues from the killer himself. He's leaving all these weird, symbols and shapes, and that whole thing was just super intriguing to me, because typically, with a serial murderer, right, that's already unusual, but a serial murderer that's leaving behind symbols and shapes and just weird things like that is sort of like, at least to me, the unusual of the unusual. So the whole thing was just super interesting to me and just really had me questioning, in a good way, what is going on here? Like, where is this thing even going?
Sir, can you stay on the line with me?
Now, my absolute favorite part about this movie, outside of the FBI agents working the case, right? Because, you have Blair Underwood and Maika Monroe, excellent actors, right? They do a great job in this. But my favorite part about this movie is the actual killer, Longlegs. Like, creepy is an understatement. This man was, oh my goodness, it was so like just when he speaks, you feel like you got to take a shower or something. That's how I felt, Now, normally I'd have a lot more clips and things to show you for this, but a lot of them are going to be big spoilers for this movie. And this movie came out, last year in 2024. It kind of went under the radar, so I'm not sure how many people have seen it, but I don't want to spoil like the movie going experience for you, or if you see it, obviously at this point it's not in theaters anymore. So if you see it on DVD or something, I don't want to spoil that experience for you, just because there's certain twists and turns that I don't want to really give away. It would kind of ruin the experience. But again, Longlegs is just, he is something different. Like, it is a creepy I've never seen before in a movie. So if you haven't seen this movie yet, I'm going to be the first to let you know that this movie is incredible. There's so many twists and turns and surprises as you go through the movie. It's really just an outstanding experience. It's just, the movie is outstanding in so many ways, and again, this movie came out in 2024, and for some reason it kind of slipped under the radar for a lot of people. Like, I don't know how many people really know about this movie, but I highly recommend it. It is an incredible experience, just from top to bottom. Outstanding. I highly, highly recommend just to give it a shot. It's a great movie. I loved it.